This may be the quiet sign you were not looking for, but somehow needed. Not a loud sign, not a sign that shakes the room or demands your attention. A quiet one, a soft one. The kind that comes when your heart has been asking questions in silence. The kind that reaches you when you have been trying to stay strong, trying to keep going, trying to understand why something feels different inside you. If these words are reaching you now, pause for a moment. Do not rush past them. Do not treat this as just another message. Something in your life may be asking you to slow down and listen. Maybe you woke up today feeling a little heavy. Maybe nothing is truly wrong, but something still feels unsettled. Maybe your mind has been full of thoughts you cannot sort out. Maybe your heart has been waiting for an answer, but the answer has not come in the way you expected. And maybe this is the gentle moment where life is saying, "Do not panic. I am still speaking. I am still guiding. I am still here." Before you reach for another worry, before you check another message, before you try to fix your whole life in your mind, stay here. Take one soft breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face relax. Let your hands open. You do not have to hold everything so tightly right now. You do not have to know what every sign means. You do not have to understand the whole path. This moment is not asking you to solve everything. It is only asking you to become still enough to receive. There are times when a sign does not arrive as a clear answer. It arrives as a feeling, a small pause, a sudden thought, a quiet pull in the heart, a sentence that stays with you, a dream you cannot forget, a delay that feels strange but somehow peaceful, a closed door that hurts at first, but deep down, something in you knows it may have protected you. Life does not always speak in big ways. Sometimes life speaks through softness. Sometimes the message is not loud because it is meant for the quiet place inside you. So breathe with this thought for a moment. A quiet sign has arrived for you, not to frighten you, not to confuse you, not to make you chase or force or beg. It has arrived to bring you back to yourself. It has arrived to help you remember that you are not alone in this moment. Something wiser than fear is moving around you. Something kinder than your worry is holding you. Something deeper than your thoughts is trying to guide you. Say softly in your heart, "I am here. I am listening. I allow this sign to settle in." Let those words be simple. You do not need to make them perfect. You do not need to feel anything big right away. Just say them gently. "I am here. I am listening. I allow this sign to settle in." Let them move through your body like warm light. Let them touch the places that have been tired from trying to understand everything. Let them rest on the part of you that has been asking, "What now? Where do I go from here? Is life still with me?" Yes, life is still with you, even when things feel slow, even when the answer has not arrived, even when people do not understand what you are going through, even when your heart feels quiet and your mind feels busy. You are still being held. You are still being guided. You are still being prepared for something your eyes may not be able to see yet. Sometimes the sign comes when you stop chasing it. Sometimes it arrives after you have cried enough, tried enough, explained enough, held on enough. Sometimes it comes when you are not in a perfect place, but in an honest place. And honesty is sacred. A tired heart can still receive guidance. A worried mind can still receive peace. A person who feels lost can still be led. You do not have to be fully healed to receive a sign. You do not have to be calm every day. You do not have to be certain. You only have to be willing to listen. Maybe the sign is telling you that you are safe to slow down. Maybe it is telling you that what left your life was not meant to stay. Maybe it is telling you that your peace matters more than your need to control. Maybe it is telling you that the thing you keep forcing has lost its life. Maybe it is telling you to trust the pause. Maybe it is telling you not to call this season empty just because you cannot see what is growing beneath the surface. A seed does not look like a garden when it is under the soil. It looks hidden. It looks quiet. It looks like nothing is happening. But deep inside the dark, something is opening. Roots are forming. Life is preparing. The same may be true for you. Just because the outside looks still does not mean nothing is moving. Just because the answer is quiet does not mean you have been forgotten. Just because the path has not opened yet does not mean there is no path. This quiet sign may be asking you to trust what is unseen, not blindly, not with fear, but with a soft heart that says, I may not understand yet, but I am willing to be guided. That is a powerful place to begin. So much changes when you stop fighting to silence and begin listening to it. Silence is not always empty. Sometimes silence is where the next message forms. Sometimes silence is where your heart becomes ready to hear what your fear could not understand. Let the world wait for a few moments. Let the noise wait. Let the old thoughts wait. You have given so much attention to fear. You have listened to doubt. You have heard the voice that says, what if it does not work? What if I am behind? What if I missed my chance? Now give a little attention to peace. Give a little attention to the gentle voice that says, you are not late. You are not lost. You are being guided in a way that may become clear one step at a time. The sign that arrived for you may not explain the whole road. It may only give you enough light for this moment, and that is enough. Life often does not show the whole staircase. It gives one step, one breath, one peaceful feeling, one quiet reminder, one small opening, one gentle no, one simple yes. And if you follow that one step with trust, another step appears. You do not need to run. You do not need to chase. You do not need to prove that you deserve good things. You do not need to force life to show you everything today. Just place one hand over your heart if you can and say, I am open to the sign that has come. I do not push it away. I do not rush it. I allow it to settle in. Let it settle like soft rain on dry ground. Let it settle like morning light through a window. Let it settle like a kind word after a long season of being hard on yourself. You have been carrying much, more than people may know, more than you may say out loud. But this moment is a small place of rest. You can come back to yourself here. You can breathe here. You can remember that the heart does not need to be forced open. It opens when it feels safe. And maybe that is why this sign came quietly. It did not come to scare you. It came gently because your heart needed gentleness. It came softly because some parts of you are still tender. It came without noise because the truth does not always need to shout. Sometimes the deepest messages arrive like a whisper and still change everything. If your heart feels a little moved, let it. If your body feels a little softer, let it. If tears come, let them. If nothing comes, that is also okay. You are not doing this wrong. Receiving is not a performance. You do not have to feel a grand wave of emotion to know that something meaningful has reached you. Sometimes the sign begins as a small warmth, a small breath, a small sense that maybe, just maybe, you are more supported than you thought. Say again, I am here. I am listening. I allow this sign to settle in. The quiet sign has found you. Now let yourself be found by it. Do not push it away because it seems small. Do not dismiss it because it is simple. Do not doubt it because it did not arrive the way you expected. Life may be speaking through something ordinary, and ordinary moments can carry holy meaning when the heart is ready to listen. Maybe the sign is not outside you at all. Maybe the sign is the way your body relaxed when you heard the words you needed. Maybe the sign is the way your breathing slowed. Maybe the sign is the fact that you are still here, still trying, still open, even after all you have been through. Maybe your willingness is the sign. Maybe your softness is the sign. Maybe your desire for peace is the sign. You are not as far away from guidance as you think. Guidance is not always somewhere above you, far from you, hidden from you. Sometimes guidance is the quiet knowing inside your own heart. Sometimes it is the peaceful feeling that remains after fear has spoken loudly and then grown tired. Sometimes it is the part of you that says, "This is not right for me anymore." Sometimes it is the part that whispers, "Wait." Sometimes it is the part that says, "Try again, but gently this time." So today, do not rush to name the whole meaning. Begin by receiving the comfort. Begin by allowing peace. Begin by letting your heart know that it has been heard. A quiet sign has arrived for you, and it is safe to let it settle. When a quiet sign arrives, the first thing the mind often wants to do is explain it. The mind wants to label it, control it, measure it, and decide what it means right away. It wants a clear answer. It wants to know if this means yes or no, stay or leave, move forward or wait, open the door or close it. But the heart does not always work that fast. The spirit does not always speak in straight lines. Sometimes a sign is not asking to be understood at once. Sometimes it is asking to be held with care. So slow down before you decide what it means. Give the sign room to breathe. Give your heart time to feel. Give your body time to tell the truth. Not every message from life is meant to be turned into a quick plan. Some messages are meant to soften you first. Some signs are not instructions. They are invitations. They invite you to become quiet. They invite you to notice where you are tense. They invite you to stop running ahead and come back to the moment you are in. Take a slow breath now. Let the air come in gently. Let it leave gently. Do not force the breath. Do not make it special. Just breathe as if you are telling your body, you are safe right now. Let your shoulders lower. Let your hands become loose. Let your stomach soften. Let the tongue rest. Let the eyes relax. You have been using so much energy trying to understand, trying to know, trying to be ready for every possible outcome. But in this moment, you are allowed to stop. You do not need to understand everything right now. You do not need to have the perfect answer. You do not need to decide today what this sign means for the rest of your life. You only need to allow peace to speak first. Say softly, I do not need to understand everything right now. I allow peace to speak first. Feel those words. They are not a way to avoid life. They are a way to meet life with a calmer heart. When fear speaks first, it often turns a sign into pressure. It says, do something now. Decide now. Fix it now. Make sure you do not lose this. Make sure you do not make a mistake. Fear is always in a rush because fear does not trust timing. Fear does not trust the unseen. Fear does not trust that life can hold what you cannot control. But peace is different. Peace does not hurry. Peace does not grab. Peace does not make you feel small. Peace gives space. Peace helps you hear what is true beneath the noise. Peace may not tell you every detail, but it will help you feel the next honest step. That is why you must let peace speak before panic takes over the room. Many times, people receive a gentle sign and then trouble themselves with too many questions. What does it mean? Is this the answer? Is this a warning? Is this a promise? What should I do? What if I do the wrong thing? What if I miss the chance? And before the sign can bring comfort, the mind turns it into another place of stress. But the sign did not come to make you more afraid. It came to bring you closer to trust. If a sign brings pressure, breathe. If a sign brings fear, breathe. If a sign makes your mind race, breathe. This does not mean the sign is wrong. It may simply mean your nervous system is tired. It may mean your body is used to looking for danger before it looks for support. It may mean you have been disappointed before, and now even good things make you careful. Be gentle with yourself. Do not shame yourself for needing time. Sometimes the heart needs time to believe in good again. Sometimes the body needs time to feel safe receiving. Sometimes the mind needs to be reminded many times that not everything is here to hurt you. So do not rush yourself. A quiet sign can settle slowly. A gentle truth can take time to reach the deep places. Imagine a glass of water with sand at the bottom. If you keep shaking the glass, the water stays cloudy. You cannot see clearly. But if you set the glass down and let it rest, the sand slowly falls to the bottom and the water becomes clear again. Your mind is like that. If you keep shaking it with worry, fear, and hurry, you may not see what the sign is trying to show you. But if you become still, if you let the moment settle, clarity can rise on its own. This is why slowing down is not weakness, it is wisdom. It means you are not letting fear drive your life. It means you are giving truth a chance to be heard. You do not need to rush into action just because something moved inside you. You do not need to tell everyone. You do not need to explain it. You do not need to turn it into a story. Let it be quiet for a while. Let it be yours. Let it sit in your heart like a warm light. Ask yourself gently, does this sign bring peace? Not excitement only. Not fear mixed with desire. Not the old need to chase, but peace, a deep kind of peace. The kind that may still feel tender, but does not feel violent inside you. The kind that may ask you to be brave, but does not ask you to abandon yourself. Then ask, does this sign ask me to wait? Sometimes the sign is not saying, go now. Sometimes it is saying, rest, watch, listen, let more be shown. Waiting is not always delay. Waiting can be a sacred pause. Waiting can be the place where your heart becomes clear enough to choose from love instead of fear. Ask, does this sign ask me to release something? Maybe the sign has come to show you that your hands are full of what no longer nourishes you. Maybe you are holding an old hope that has become pain. Maybe you are holding a plan that once felt safe but now feels too small. Maybe you are holding anger because you think releasing it means what happened was okay. But releasing does not mean denying your pain. It means choosing not to carry pain as your whole identity. Ask, does this sign ask me to trust? This may be the hardest question because trust asks the mind to stop being the ruler of everything. Trust does not mean you do nothing. Trust means you move with a softer heart. Trust means you listen for the next step instead of demanding the whole map. Trust means you say, I am willing to be led in a way that is kinder than my fear. The quiet sign that arrived for you may need this kind of space. If you rush, you may turn it into something it is not. If you force it, you may miss the softness of it. If you try to use it to control life, you may lose the peace it came to bring. Let it settle. Let it teach you slowly. Let it become clear in its own time. Not every sign is meant to make sense to the mind first. Sometimes the body understands before the mind does. You may feel your chest soften. You may feel a release in your breath. You may feel calm after a long time of being tense. You may feel a quiet yes without knowing why. You may feel a gentle no that does not need to defend itself. These are not small things. The body often knows when the mind is still arguing, so listen to your body. Has this sign brought ease? Has it helped you stop gripping? Has it made you feel less alone? Has it brought a little warmth into a cold place inside you? Has it reminded you that life may still be working for you? Let those feelings matter. Your mind may say, but I need proof. And yes, it is natural to want proof. But some proof grows slowly. Some proof comes through repeated peace. Some proof comes through timing. Some proof comes when you look back and say, now I understand why that happened. You may not have the full proof today. You may only have a soft feeling that something has shifted. That is enough for this moment. Do not let fear turn a gentle sign into a burden. A sign is not a test you must pass. It is not a secret code you must break perfectly. It is not here to judge you. It is here to open something. It is here to remind you. It is here to bring your attention back to what your soul already knows. You are allowed to sit with it. You are allowed to say, I do not know yet. You are allowed to wait for more peace. You are allowed to take your time before speaking, choosing, moving, or releasing. Life does not punish you for being gentle with yourself. Life does not leave you behind because you need a breath. Say again, I do not need to understand everything right now. I allow peace to speak first. Let that sentence become a resting place. When your thoughts begin to run, come back to it. When you feel the need to decide too quickly, come back to it. When you feel scared that you may miss what is meant for you, come back to it. What is truly meant for your peace will not require you to betray yourself. What is truly guided will not need panic to keep it alive. There is a difference between a loving pull and a fearful push. A loving pull may ask you to grow, but it will not crush you. It may ask you to be honest, but it will not shame you. It may ask you to change, but it will not make you hate where you are. A fearful push makes you feel desperate. It says, hurry or you will lose everything. A loving pull says, come this way when you are ready. I am here. Let the quiet sign be a loving pull. Let it draw you toward peace. Let it open your heart without forcing it. Let it remind you that your life can be guided through gentle moments, not only big ones. Let it be simple. Let it be enough. You may want to know what comes next. That is natural. The mind feels safer when it knows the next page. But life is not always handed to us as a full book. Sometimes it comes as one line, one breath, one clear feeling, one little sign. And when you honor that one line, the next line appears. So today, practice not rushing the meaning. When the thought comes, what does this mean? Answer gently, it is still settling. When fear says, you must know now, answer, peace will show me in the right time. When doubt says, maybe this is nothing, answer, even a small sign can carry care. When your heart says, I feel something, listen. There is no need to make this dramatic. There is no need to tell a big story around it. Just become quiet. Let the sign sit beside you. Let it breathe with you. Let it become clear without being forced. The most beautiful guidance often grows in a calm heart. If the sign is true, it will not lose its light because you gave it time. If the message is loving, it will still be there after you breathe. If the path is meant for you, peace will continue to return when you stop fighting. So slow down. Do not rush to decide. Do not turn the sign into pressure. Allow it to settle first. A quiet sign may be small, but that does not mean it is empty. Sometimes the smallest moments carry the deepest messages. A word you hear at the right time, a song that touches something hidden in your heart, a dream that stays with you after waking, a sudden calm feeling when you expected fear, a delay that keeps you from something that was not right, a person who says one simple sentence and somehow your whole body knows you needed to hear it. Life does not always use large doors. Sometimes it uses small windows. Sometimes it sends help through ordinary things. A cup of tea, a quiet morning, a bird outside the window, a message from someone you were thinking about, a line in a book, a feeling in the chest, a soft thought that says, do not give up. If you are only looking for something big, you may miss the tender ways life is trying to reach you. The sign may be small, but it may be carrying peace, and peace is never empty. Peace is guidance. Peace is information. Peace is the body saying, this feels safe. Peace is the heart saying, there is something here. Peace is life saying, notice this. Do not walk past it too quickly. Say softly, I notice the quiet ways life is guiding me. Let that be your practice. Not forcing signs, not chasing signs, not becoming afraid of every little thing, just noticing with a soft heart, noticing without pressure, noticing the gentle ways support may already be around you. You may have been taught to look for answers in big changes, a huge opportunity, a clear message, a sudden miracle, a dramatic opening. But many times, guidance begins very small. It begins as a feeling that you should rest. It begins as the quiet thought to call someone. It begins as the gentle sense that a certain room, plan, or person no longer brings peace. It begins as the desire to clean one corner, drink water, write one sentence, step outside, pray, forgive yourself, or stop answering what drains you. Small signs can lead to large changes when you honor them. A small no can protect your peace. A small yes can open a new path. A small pause can stop an old pattern. A small breath can calm a whole body. A small truth can become the beginning of freedom. Maybe the sign that came to you is not telling you to change your whole life today. Maybe it is simply asking you to stop ignoring what you feel. Maybe it is asking you to admit that something has shifted. Maybe it is asking you to notice where peace is present and where peace is missing. Maybe it is asking you to stop calling your own inner knowing nothing. So many people dismiss the quiet signs because they expect guidance to be louder. They say, it was only a feeling, but feelings can carry wisdom. They say, it was only a thought, but thoughts can be seeds. They say, it was only a delay, but delays can protect. They say, it was only a small kindness, but kindness can be life reaching through another person. Do not make small things meaningless just because they are small. A key is small, but it can open a door. A seed is small, but it can become a tree. A breath is small, but it can bring you back to peace. A kind word is small, but it can save a tired heart. A quiet sign is small, but it may be the first light of a new chapter. Think of the times in your life when something small changed the direction of your day. A person smiled, a message came, a plan changed. You took another road. You waited 5 more minutes. You said yes. You said no. You trusted a feeling. At the time, it may not have looked important. But later, you saw that life was moving through that small moment. This is how guidance often works. It does not always explain itself while it is happening. Sometimes you only understand later. You may look back one day and say, that small delay protected me. That quiet feeling was telling the truth. That closed door was not rejection. That gentle nudge was the beginning. That simple message reached me at the right time. For now, You do not need to know the full story. You only need to respect the sign enough to listen. Maybe the sign came as a calm feeling in the middle of a hard choice. Your mind may still have questions, but your body became still for a moment. That stillness matters. Maybe the sign came as a peaceful no, not anger, not fear, just a quiet sense that says, "This is not for me anymore." That no matters. Maybe the sign came as a gentle yes, not excitement that burns fast, but a steady warmth that remains. That yes matters. There are signs that come through the body: a tight chest when you are forcing something, a deep breath when you tell the truth, a soft belly when you stop trying to please everyone, a lighter feeling when you imagine releasing what you have outgrown. These are not accidents. The body often speaks in simple ways. There are signs that come through timing. A door closes right when you were unsure. A meeting changes. A message arrives after you prayed. An opportunity opens when you stop chasing. A delay gives you space to think. A plan falls apart, but later you see that it made room for something better. Timing is one of life's quiet languages. There are signs that come through repetition. A word keeps appearing. A thought keeps returning. The same lesson shows up in different places. You hear the same kind of message from more than one source. Something keeps touching your heart again and again. Repetition can be life tapping gently on the door of your attention. There are signs that come through peace. Not the peace that says everything is easy. The peace that says, even though this is uncertain, there is a steady place inside me. That kind of peace can guide you when facts are not enough. It can help you choose the path that feels clean, honest, and kind. And there are signs that come through discomfort. This is important. Not all signs feel sweet at first. Sometimes the sign is restlessness. Sometimes it is the feeling that you no longer fit where you once tried to belong. Sometimes it is losing interest in what used to keep you busy. Sometimes it is the ache of knowing you cannot keep betraying your peace. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It may mean something in you is waking up. A quiet sign may come to show you that your old way is too small now. You may no longer want to argue. You may no longer want to beg for attention. You may no longer want to explain yourself to people who have already decided not to hear you. You may no longer want to carry shame that was never yours. You may no longer want to live only in survival. That change may feel strange, but it can be a sign of healing. Do not be afraid if the sign makes you feel tender. Tenderness is not weakness. Tenderness means something true has touched you. Sometimes the heart becomes soft before it becomes clear. Sometimes tears come before courage comes. Sometimes silence comes before the next answer. Let the process be gentle. If a small sign has reached you, ask yourself, what feeling did it bring? Did it bring relief? Did it bring calm? Did it bring a sense of being seen? Did it bring a little hope? Did it remind you of your worth? Did it help you breathe? Did it ask you to stop pushing? Did it ask you to return to yourself? These questions are simple, but they can open the heart. You do not need hard words. You do not need complicated spiritual rules. You only need honesty. The quiet sign is not here to impress your mind. It is here to touch your life. Maybe the sign is telling you that you are being cared for in ways you do not see. Maybe it is telling you to trust the next step. Maybe it is telling you to release the old story. Maybe it is telling you that peace is possible again. Maybe it is telling you to stop calling yourself behind. Maybe it is telling you that the pause is not empty. Maybe it is telling you that something is being prepared quietly. You may not know which one yet. That is okay. Let the sign keep breathing. Let it unfold. One of the most beautiful things about quiet signs is that they respect your heart. They do not break down the door. They do not force you. They wait for your attention. They invite you closer. A quiet sign is like a soft knock. You can ignore it, or you can pause and ask, "What are you showing me?" Today, let yourself ask that question gently, not with fear, not with the need to get the answer right, just with openness. What are you showing me? What am I ready to see? What am I being asked to trust? What peace is trying to enter my life? What old noise is making it hard for me to hear? Then listen without rushing. The answer may come as a sentence in your heart. It may come later in the day. It may come through rest. It may come through a simple action. It may come through the feeling that you already know what to stop forcing. Let it come in the way it comes. There is a gentle kind of faith that does not demand. It simply notices. It says, "I see this small good. I see this small opening. I see this quiet help. I see this moment of peace." And the more you notice, the more you begin to feel guided. Not because life was not guiding you before, but because your eyes are becoming softer. Your heart is becoming more open. Your body is learning that support can come in small ways. This is why the sign may be small, but it is not empty. It may be the beginning of a deeper trust. It may be the first thread of a larger pattern. It may be one piece of a picture you cannot yet see. Do not throw it away just because it is not the whole answer. A single star does not light the whole sky, but it can help you remember there is light. A single breath does not solve the whole life, but it can bring you back to yourself. A single sign may not explain everything, but it can remind you that life is still speaking. So today, notice. Notice the small peace. Notice the quiet help. Notice the words that reach your heart. Notice the doors that close and the calm that follows. Notice the people who bring ease. Notice the spaces that drain you. Notice the thought that keeps returning with love. Notice the answer that feels gentle, not forced. And as you notice, say, "I am willing to be guided in simple ways." Let that be enough. Let simply be sacred. Let small be meaningful. Let quiet be trusted. The sign may not be loud, but your heart can still hear it. The sign may not be big, but your life can still be touched by it. The sign may not explain the whole path, but it may be lighting the next step. Do not dismiss the small signs. They may be the way life is taking your hand. Sometimes the sign comes, but the mind is too busy to notice it. The heart feels a little whisper, but the mind is already shouting. The body feels a small peace, but fear steps in and says, "No, look for the problem. Look for what could go wrong. Look for what might fall apart." And because fear can be so loud, the gentle sign may almost pass by without being welcomed. Not because you are not spiritual enough, not because you are not open enough, not because life is not guiding you, but because you may have been tired, rushed, worried, or used to expecting difficulty before you expect peace. When the mind has spent a long time looking for danger, it can become hard to see support. This is not something to blame yourself for. It is simply a habit that may have formed through stress, disappointment, waiting, or pain. When you have had to be strong for too long, the body begins to brace. It begins to prepare for what might hurt. It begins to scan every moment and ask, "Is this safe? Can I trust this? Will this leave? Will this fail? Will I be disappointed again?" And when the body is bracing, even blessings can feel unclear. So if you almost missed the sign, be gentle with yourself. Maybe you were not careless. Maybe you were protecting yourself. Maybe some part of you has learned to stay alert because in the past, relaxing did not feel safe. Maybe you have been carrying so much inside that even a soft message had to knock more than once before you could hear it. That is okay. The sign did not leave because you needed time. Life is patient with the heart that is learning to trust again. Take a breath and say softly, "I soften my fear. I open to guidance." Let that be enough for this moment. You do not have to force yourself to be fearless. You do not have to pretend that you are calm if you are not. You only have to soften a little, just a little. A small softening is already a doorway. A small breath is already a return. A small moment of trust is already a new beginning. Fear often tells you that guidance must be loud, clear, and impossible to miss. Fear says, if life is really guiding me, then the answer should be obvious. The door should open wide. The sign should be strong. The proof should be clear. But life does not always work that way. Sometimes the sign is gentle because it is inviting your heart, not forcing your mind. Sometimes the sign is soft because life wants you to come closer, not because life is hiding from you. You may have almost missed it because you were looking for something dramatic. You were waiting for a big moment, a big answer, a big change, a big feeling. But the sign came quietly. It came in a calm thought. It came in a small pause. It came in the faith feeling that you no longer wanted to keep carrying the same worry. It came in the soft knowing that you needed rest. It came in the way your heart felt lighter when you imagined letting go. It came in a peaceful no. It came in a simple yes. It came in a moment so ordinary that your mind may have said, "That is nothing." But it was not nothing. Sometimes life sends a sign in a small form because small things are easier for the heart to receive. If the sign came too strongly, maybe you would resist it. Maybe you would fear it. Maybe you would try to control it. But a quiet sign can sit beside you. It can wait. It can let you notice it slowly. It can allow your heart to open at its own pace. You may have almost missed it because you were moving too fast. When the day begins with rushing, the heart has little space to hear. When the mind is already full of tasks, messages, worries, and old thoughts, a quiet sign may have no room to land. This is why slowing down matters. Not because you must stop your whole life, but because your soul needs small spaces where it can speak. A few breaths can make room. A hand on the heart can make room. A pause before reacting can make room. A moment of silence can make room. There is a quiet wisdom inside you, but it is hard to hear when everything inside is moving at the speed of fear. Fear rushes. Fear demands. Fear says, "Do it now. Know it now. Fix it now." Guidance is different. Guidance may say, "Breathe first. Come back to yourself first. Listen before you move." Guidance does not always push. Sometimes it waits until your body is soft enough to receive. So do not judge the part of you that has been rushing. It may have believed rushing was the only way to stay safe. It may have believed that if you stopped, everything would fall apart. It may have believed that if you relaxed, you would lose control. But what if relaxing is not losing control? What if relaxing is how you return control to peace? What if the sign could not be heard because fear was holding the room too tightly? What if this moment is life saying, "You can loosen your grip now, you can breathe now, you can listen now"? Say gently, "I do not have to rush to be safe. I can slow down and still be guided." Let those words settle in the body. The body may need to hear them more than once. It may not believe them right away. That is okay. Speak to yourself as you would speak to something tender. Speak with patience. Speak with kindness. You are not trying to win a fight with fear. You are teaching fear that it does not have to be in charge of every moment. You may have almost missed the sign because you were expecting the worst. This is such a human thing. When life has not gone the way you hoped, the mind begins to protect itself by expecting less. It says, "Do not get excited. Do not trust. Do not open. Do not believe too soon." And in one way, the mind is trying to save you from pain. but in another way, it can close the door before good has a chance to enter. It can mistake safety for hardness. It can mistake control for wisdom. It can mistake doubt for protection. Bull. You do not have to live closed just because you have been hurt. You can be wise and open at the same time. You can take your time and still receive. You can be gentle and still be strong. You can listen carefully without shutting the door on hope. You do not have to throw your whole heart into every sign, but you can allow a little light to come in. A quiet sign is not asking you to abandon yourself. It is not asking you to believe without feeling. It is not asking you to chase. It is simply asking you to notice, to pause, to feel, to ask, does this bring peace? That is all. You do not need to make a huge promise to life. You can simply open one small window. Say softly, I am willing to notice support. I am willing to receive peace. You may have almost missed the sign because you were listening to old stories. Old stories can be very loud. They may say, nothing works for me. Good things do not last. I always get disappointed. I am not chosen. I am not ready. I am too late. These stories can become so familiar that they feel like truth, even when they are only old pain speaking. And when old pain is speaking, it may try to explain every new moment through the past. But this sign did not arrive from your old story. It arrived from the present moment. It arrived from life now. It may be asking you to stop using yesterday's wound to decide today's meaning. It may be asking you to allow one fresh thought to enter. It may be asking you to believe that the past can teach you without ruling you. The old story may say, do not trust this, but peace may say, listen gently. The old story may say, this will end badly, but your heart may say, not everything is the same as before. The old story may say, you are alone, but the quiet sign may be saying, you are being guided even here. Let yourself hear the new voice, not by fighting the old one, but by giving the new one space. You can say, thank you, fear, for trying to protect me, but I am choosing to listen to peace now. That sentence can change the whole feeling of a moment. It honors what you have survived, but it does not let survival become your only way of living. The sign may have been easy to miss because it did not look like the answer you wanted. This is very important. Sometimes we ask life for guidance, but we only want guidance if it comes in the form we already chose. We ask for peace, but we want peace to come through the person we are attached to. We ask for a door to open, but we want only one door. We ask for healing, but we do not want to release the pain we have carried for years. We ask for a new chapter, but we want the old chapter to stay exactly the same. And when the sign comes in a different form, we almost miss it. We say, that cannot be it. But maybe the sign is not here to confirm your fear. Maybe it is here to expand your sight. Maybe the sign is not saying, keep forcing this. Maybe it is saying, there is another way. Maybe it is not saying, hold on tighter. Maybe it is saying, loosen your grip. Maybe it is not saying, prove your worth. Maybe it is saying, rest in your worth. A sign tat. Hat brings peace may not always bring the answer your control wanted, but peace is still worth listening to. Sometimes peace leads away from what the mind demanded. Sometimes peace leads toward a path that feels unfamiliar but kind. Sometimes peace asks you to stop knocking on a door because another door is being prepared. Say, I am open to guidance that comes in a gentle form. I am open to answers that bring peace. If your heart resists that, be kind. The heart may need time. There is no need to force openness. Even the willingness to be open is enough. You can say, I am willing to be willing. That is a beautiful beginning. You do not have to leap. You can take one small inner step. You may have almost missed the sign because your body was tired. A tired body often hears everything through heaviness. When you are tired, even guidance can feel like another task. Even hope can feel like pressure. Even a blessing can feel like something you now have to manage. So if you feel tired, do not turn the sign into work. Let it be comfort first. Let it be a soft blanket around the heart. Let it say, you do not have to fix everything tonight. You do not have to solve your whole life today. You can rest and still be guided. Rest can help you hear. A calmer body can understand what a tired mind cannot. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is sleep, drink water, breathe, and stop attacking yourself. The sign may not need you to act right now. It may need you to care for the body that is trying to carry your life. Place your hand over your heart and say, I am allowed to rest. I am still guided when I rest. Let that truth enter slowly. You do not need to earn rest by finishing everything. You do not need to prove you are worthy of peace. Peace is not only for people whose lives are perfect. Peace is for you now. Guidance is for you now. Support is for you now. You may have almost missed the sign because it came through something ordinary. A normal day, a simple moment, a short message, a small delay, a sudden quiet feeling. But the ordinary is one of life's favorite places to hide grace. The ordinary is where your breath lives. The ordinary is where your healing often begins. The ordinary is where one small choice can change the energy of the whole day. Do not wait for life to become dramatic before you believe it is sacred. Do not wait for a huge miracle before you notice the small mercy. The quiet sign may be ordinary, but that does not make it empty. It may be plain, but that does not make it powerless. A simple moment can hold great love. Say, I notice the sacred in simple things. Let this be your new way of seeing. When something softens your heart, notice. When something brings relief, notice. When you feel guided to pause, notice. When your body relaxes after choosing peace, notice. When a door closes and a strange calm follows, notice. When you stop chasing and suddenly breathe deeper, notice. These are not accidents to rush past. They are little lights along the path. The reason you almost missed the sign is not important enough to shy yourself over. What matters is that you can notice it now. You can return now. You can listen now. You can open now. Life does not say, you missed the first whisper, so I will never speak again. Life keeps speaking. Life keeps offering. Life keeps calling you back to trust in small and tender ways. So forgive yourself for all the signs you may have missed when you were surviving. Forgive yourself for the times you could not hear peace because fear was too loud. Forgive yourself for needing proof. Forgive yourself for holding on too tightly. Forgive yourself for moving fast because slowing down felt unsafe. You were doing the best you could with the safety you had. And now maybe a little more safety is available. Say softly, I forgive myself for not seeing clearly before. I am willing to see with softer eyes now. There is no need to be hard on yourself. Hardness will not help you hear better. Gentleness will. Blame will not open your heart. Kindness will. Pressure will not make the sign clearer. Stillness will. The sign has not come to test you. It has come to invite you. It has come to say, come back to your breath, come back to your heart, come back to the simple truth that you are not alone. And as you come back, your sight begins to change. You begin to see that support may already be present. You begin to feel that peace may already be near. You begin to understand that guidance is not always far away. It may be here in this breath, waiting for you to soften enough to receive it. Do not only think about the sign. Let your body receive it. Let it move from the busy mind into the quiet heart. Let it travel from thought into breath. Let it become something you can feel, not something you have to solve. The mind may want to hold the sign like a puzzle, turning it around again and again, asking, what does this mean? What should I do? What if I am wrong? But the body asks a softer question. The body asks, does this bring peace? That is where you begin. Take a slow breath in. Let it be easy. Now breathe out slowly, as if you are letting go of something you did not know you were holding. Let the breath leave through the mouth if that feels natural. Let your shoulders fall. Let your chest loosen. Let your hands soften. If your hand can rest on your heart, place it there, gently, not as a rule, not as a performance, just as a way to tell your body, I am here with you. A quiet sign needs a quiet place to land. If the body is tense, the sign may stay in the mind and become another worry. But when the body softens, the sign can settle deeper. It can become comfort. It can become knowing. It can become a calm feeling that does not need to shout. Say softly, my body knows how to receive peace. Let those words move slowly through you. Your body may have held fear for a long time. It may have held stress, grief, waiting, disappointment, or the need to stay strong. So when peace comes, the body may not trust it at first. This is normal. Sometimes peace feels unfamiliar when fear has been the regular visitor. Sometimes calm feels strange when the body has been living in pressure. So do not be surprised if part of you resists the softness. Do not push that part away. Invite it gently. You can say, it is safe to soften a little. It is safe to receive a little. It is safe to breathe. Let the sign settle into the body one breath at a time. You do not need to force a feeling. You do not need to create a special experience. Just notice what happens inside you when you bring the sign to mind. Does your chest open or close? Does your breath become easier or tighter? Does your stomach soften or grip? Do your shoulders drop or rise? Does the thought of this sign bring relief, pressure, peace, fear, hope, or confusion? Do not judge the answer. Just notice. The body often tells the truth in simple ways. It may not use hard words. It may not explain. It may not give a full plan. But it speaks through ease and tension, through breath and heaviness, through peace and pressure. If the sign is gentle and true, it may bring a kind of calm that stays beneath the surface, even if the mind still has questions. If the sign is asking you to slow down, the body may feel tired when you think of forcing things. If the sign is asking you to release something, the body may feel lighter when you imagine letting it go. This is not about making every body feeling into a rule. It is about listening with love. The body is part of your guidance. It has carried every season with you. It knows when you are tired of pretending. It knows when you are forcing. It knows when you are at peace. It knows when you are trying to make something fit that no longer fits. It knows when a yes is clean. It knows when a no is kind. Ask gently, what does this sign make me feel? Then wait, not with pressure, not as if you must hear a voice. Just wait like you would wait beside a small flame, protecting it from too much wind. Maybe the first answer is, I feel calm. Maybe it is, I feel scared. Maybe it is, I feel relief. Maybe it is, I do not know. All of these are allowed. I do not know is not failure. Sometimes I do not know is the doorway before the deeper truth rises. Ask again, does this sign bring peace? Peace may not mean excitement. Peace may not mean that everything is easy. Peace may not mean that there is no sadness. Sometimes peace comes with tears. Sometimes peace comes with the truth you did not want to admit. Sometimes peace comes when you finally stop lying to yourself. Sometimes peace says, "This is hard, but it is honest." Sometimes peace says, "This is new, but it is clean." Sometimes peace says, "This ending hurts, but it is freeing." So listen carefully. Peace is not always loud happiness. Peace is often steady. Peace is often simple. Peace is the deep breath after telling the truth. Peace is the quiet relief after letting go of control. Peace is the soft feeling that comes when you stop begging life to look like the old plan. Peace is the body saying, "Thank you for coming back to yourself." Ask, does this sign bring relief? Relief is important. The heart may not be ready for joy yet, but relief can be a sign. Relief may come when you allow yourself to rest. Relief may come when you stop chasing an answer. Relief may come when you admit that something has ended. Relief may come when you say, "I do not have to carry this alone." Relief may come when you forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. If the sign brings relief, honor that. Relief is a gentle form of truth. It says, "Something in me was tired, and now it can loosen." Do not dismiss relief because it seems small. A little relief can become a doorway to deep healing. Ask, does this sign ask me to wait? Waiting can feel difficult when the mind wants certainty, but not all waiting is empty. Sometimes waiting is the space where the sign becomes clearer. Sometimes waiting keeps you from acting out of fear. Sometimes waiting allows emotions to settle so wisdom can rise. Sometimes waiting protects what is still forming. A flower cannot be forced open without being damaged. Some answers bloom better when given time. If the sign asks you to wait, it does not mean life is saying no. It may mean, let more be revealed. It may mean, rest first. It may mean, do not move from panic. It may mean, you are not ready to see the whole picture, but you are being prepared. Waiting with fear feels like punishment. Waiting with trust feels like preparation. The outer situation may look the same, but the inner feeling changes everything. Say softly, "I can wait without losing faith. I can pause and still be guided." Ask, does this sign ask me to release? Sometimes the body knows what must be released before the mind admits it. The body may become heavy when you think of continuing the old way. It may feel tight when you imagine another conversation that goes nowhere. It may feel tired when you think of proving yourself again. It may feel sad when you keep saying yes to what drains you. These feelings are not here to punish you. They may be the body's way of saying, "Please listen, we cannot keep living like this." Release does not always mean walking away from everything. Sometimes release means letting go of the need to control. Sometimes it means releasing the story that you are not worthy. Sometimes it means releasing the pressure to know the future. Sometimes it means releasing anger from your own body, even if what happened was not okay. Sometimes it means releasing the old habit of chasing people who cannot meet you with care. Let the question be gentle. What am I being asked to release? Do not force the answer. Let it rise like a quiet truth. Maybe it is fear. Maybe it is the need for approval. Maybe it is the belief that you are behind. Maybe it is the habit of expecting rejection. Maybe it is a plan that once felt right, but now feels too tight. Maybe it is a version of yourself that survived, but no longer has to lead. Say, I release what blocks my peace. I make room for what supports my heart. Ask, does this sign ask me to trust? Trust may be the deepest part of receiving. It asks you to stop making fear the only voice you follow. It asks you to believe that the next step can appear without having the whole road. It asks you to let life be larger than your plan. It asks you to allow support in forms you did not choose. Trust is not weakness. Trust is a calm strength. It says, I will do my part, but I will not try to carry the whole universe. If the sign asks you to trust, start small. Do not try to trust everything at once. Trust this breath. Trust this moment. Trust the one peaceful step you can take today. Trust that you can listen without rushing. Trust that you are allowed to be guided gently. Trust that not knowing does not mean you are lost. Say, I am safe even when I do not know. I can take one gentle step. Let the sign settle deeper now. Imagine it like a soft light entering the heart. Do not make the light dramatic. Let it be simple, a small, warm light, a quiet comfort, a message that does not shout. Let it move through the chest, through the shoulders, through the stomach, through the hands. Let it remind the body that it does not have to brace against every unknown thing. Your body may have believed that being tense would protect you. And yes, sometimes tension came because you were trying to survive. But now, in this moment, you can teach the body a new way. You can say, I can be aware without being afraid. I can be open without being unsafe. I can receive without losing myself. Let these words enter slowly. I can be aware without being afraid. I can be open without being unsafe. I can receive without losing myself. There is a deep difference between opening and abandoning yourself. Opening means you are present. You are listening. You are allowing good to come near. Abandoning yourself means you ignore your truth to keep something. The quiet sign will never ask you to abandon yourself. True guidance brings you closer to your own heart. It does not pull you away from your peace. It may challenge you, yes. It may ask you to grow, yes. but it will not ask you to betray the quiet wisdom within you. So feel for the difference. Does the sign bring you closer to yourself or farther away? Does it help you breathe or make you feel trapped? Does it ask you to act from love or fear? Does it bring kindness toward yourself, or does it make you attack yourself? These are important questions. Let the body help you answer. The mind can argue both sides for hours. The mind can build a case for staying and a case for leaving, a case for waiting and a case for moving, a case for trusting and a case for doubting. But the body often knows the feeling of truth. It may not give you every detail, but it can show you where peace lives. Place your hand on your heart again and say, "Show me what peace feels like." Then breathe. Let the body remember. Maybe peace feels like warmth. Maybe it feels like space. Maybe it feels like a deep breath. Maybe it feels like no longer needing to explain yourself. Maybe it feels like putting down a heavy bag. Maybe it feels like silence after a long inner argument. Whatever peace feels like for you, honor it. The sign may settle in slowly. It may not become clear in one moment. That is okay. Some truths arrive like rain, drop by drop, breath by breath, day by day. You may understand a little today and a little more tomorrow. You may feel the meaning before you can say it. You may know that something has shifted without knowing what action will come from it. Let that be enough. Do not rush the body. The body has its own pace of trust. If it has been hurt, it may need repeated safety. It may need simple words. It may need quiet mornings. It may need rest. It may need gentle choices that prove you are no longer willing to abandon your peace. Each time you listen, the body begins to trust you more. This is how the sign settles, not through force, through care, through breath, through listening, through small acts of honesty, through the choice to stop turning every message into fear. Say, "I allow this sign to settle in my body. I allow peace to become clear in me." Let the sign become a feeling of support. Let it remind you that you do not have to hold your breath while waiting for life to unfold. Let it remind you that peace can be present before the answer is complete. Let it remind you that guidance can be felt, not only explained. You may still have questions. That is fine. Questions can remain while peace grows. You may still feel unsure. That is fine. Uncertainty can remain while trust grows. You may still need time. That is fine. Time can be part of the guidance. For now, let the body receive one simple truth. You are not alone in this. The sign has come softly, and you are allowed to receive it softly. You do not have to force meaning. You do not have to make quick decisions. You do not have to explain your inner knowing to anyone who would not understand it. You can let peace settle first. And as it settles, something inside may begin to loosen. The mind may become less sharp. The breath may become less shallow. The heart may feel less afraid. The body may begin to understand that the sign did not come to create pressure. It came to bring you back into connection with life. Say softly, "My body knows how to receive peace. My heart knows how to listen. I allow the sign to settle in." Sometimes a sign does not come to show you what to chase. Sometimes it comes to show you what is ready to leave. This can be tender because many hearts hope a sign will say, "Hold on a little longer, try harder, fix it, make it work, keep proving, keep waiting, keep carrying." But a quiet sign may come with a different kind of love. It may whisper, "You can put this down now. You can stop forcing what has lost its peace. You can release what no longer feeds your heart." This does not mean everything must be dropped in one day. It does not mean you must make a loud decision. It does not mean you must run, cut, break, or explain. Release can be quiet. Release can begin inside before it shows outside. Release can be the moment you stop fighting the truth. Release can be the breath you take when you admit, "This is too heavy for me now." Release can be the soft choice to stop giving your whole life to what only gives you pain. Say gently, "I release what no longer brings peace to my heart." Let that sentence move slowly. Do not rush it. Some parts of you may agree. Some parts may feel afraid. Some parts may say, "But what if I release and nothing better comes?" Be kind to that fear. It is an old fear. It has been trying to keep you safe. It believes that holding on is protection. It believes that letting go means loss. But sometimes letting go is not losing. Sometimes letting go is how life finally has space to bring what is more loving, more honest, and more peaceful. Your hands cannot receive fresh flowers if they are still closed around old thorns. Your heart cannot fully welcome peace if it is busy rehearsing pain every hour. Your body cannot feel safe if it keeps saying yes to what makes it tighten. Your soul cannot grow freely if it is still trying to fit into a place it has outgrown. The sign may be asking you to release old fear. Not all fear at once. Just the fear that has been making every choice for you. The fear that says, "Do not change, do not speak, do not rest, do not trust, do not open, do not believe in good." Fear may have had a reason for arriving. It may have protected you in seasons where you did not know what else to do. But fear was never meant to be your permanent home. It was a visitor. It was a warning light. It was not meant to be the voice that leads your whole life. You can thank fear for trying to protect you and still choose a new guide. You can say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I am listening to peace now." This is release, not hatred, not force, not fighting yourself, just choosing a softer leader. The sign may be asking you to release control. Control can feel like safety, but it often becomes a cage. Control says, I must know every detail before I can breathe. I must make every person understand me. I must make the outcome happen in my exact way. I must hold everything together or everything will fall apart. But life is not asking you to hold the whole sky. Life is asking you to take the next honest step and allow the rest to unfold. Control is heavy because it makes you responsible for things that were never fully yours to carry. You cannot control every person's choice. You cannot control every timing. You cannot control every door. You cannot control how others see you, how life rearranges things, or how quickly something blooms. But you can choose your breath. You can choose your honesty. You can choose the next gentle step. You can choose to stop hurting yourself with the need to manage everything. Say softly, I release the need to control every detail. I allow life to guide me in peaceful ways. Let that be a small opening. You do not need to release all control at once. Just loosen the hand a little. Let one thing be held by life instead of by worry. Let one question remain unanswered for now. Let one outcome breathe. Let one plan be flexible. Let one old demand soften. The sign may be asking you to release self-judgment. This is one of the heaviest things many hearts carry. The voice that says, I should be further, I should be better, I should have known, I should have healed by now, I should not feel this way. That voice does not help you grow. It only makes the heart afraid to be honest. Healing does not happen by attacking yourself. Healing happens when you become safe enough inside to tell the truth. If the sign has reached you today, maybe it is saying, please stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. Maybe it is saying, you are allowed to be human. Maybe it is saying, you are learning, you are growing, you are allowed to need time. You do not have to punish yourself for the old choices you made when you did not know what you know now. You do not have to hate the version of you who held on too long, trusted too quickly, stayed too silent, or tried too hard. That version was trying to survive. Release the punishment. Release the shame. Release the idea that you must become perfect before you can be loved by life. Say, I release harsh words toward myself. I speak to myself with love. Feel how different that is. The body knows the difference between inner attack and inner kindness. When you speak kindly to yourself, something softens. Something begins to trust. Something says, maybe I do not have to hide from myself anymore. The sign may be asking you to release chasing. Chasing is different from moving forward. Moving forward feels guided. Chasing feels desperate. Moving forward has breath. Chasing has panic. Moving forward honors your worth. Chasing forgets it. When you chase, you may try to make someone choose you, make an old door open, make a situation prove your value, make life answer faster than it is ready. Chasing often comes from the fear that what is meant for you will not come unless you exhaust yourself. But what is deeply meant for your peace will not require you to abandon your dignity. What is aligned with your good will not need you to beg for crumbs. What is truly loving will not ask you to become smaller and smaller just to be kept. The sign may be whispering, "Stop running after what keeps moving away from your peace." This can be hard to hear, so hear it gently. You are not being told to stop caring. You are being invited to stop losing yourself. You are not being told to close your heart. You are being invited to bring your heart back home. You are not being told that your desire was wrong. You are being invited to trust that love does not have to be forced. Say softly, "I release chasing. What is for my highest good can meet me in peace." Let the body feel that. You may not believe it fully yet. That is okay. Let the words plant a seed. A seed does not become a tree in one breath, but it begins. The sign may be asking you to release old pain that has become part of your identity. This is delicate. Pain matters. What hurt you mattered. What disappointed you mattered. What broke your trust mattered. Release does not mean pretending it did not happen. Release does not mean saying it was okay. Release means you are ready to stop carrying the pain as the only truth about your life. Some pain has been held for so long that the heart becomes used to its weight. It begins to feel normal to wake up with resentment, to sleep with worry, to repeat the same old story, to keep proving why you were hurt. But there comes a time when the soul asks, "Has this pain taken enough space? Are you ready to make room for something else?" That question is not cruel. It is mercy. You can honor the pain and still make room for peace. You can remember what happened and still choose not to live inside it forever. You can protect yourself without closing yourself to all good. You can let healing enter without denying the wound. Say, "I honor what I have been through, and I make room for peace now." Let those words be gentle. You do not need to force forgiveness. You do not need to rush healing. You do not need to pretend the heart is done when it is not. Just make room. A little room. A small space where peace can sit beside the pain. Over time, peace can grow. The sign may be asking you to release the need for approval. This one can keep a person trapped for years. The need for approval says, "Do not change because they may not understand. Do not choose peace because they may judge you. Do not rest because they may think you are lazy. Do not speak because they may be upset. Do not grow because they may not like who you become." And slowly, life becomes smaller. The soul feels cramped. The heart feels tired. The body feels like it is living for everyone except itself. But your peace is not something that must be approved by every person. Your healing does not need applause. Your release does not need to be understood by those who benefited from you staying the same. You are allowed to outgrow the cage of other people's opinions. You are allowed to choose a life that feels honest in your own body. Say, I release the need to be approved by everyone. I choose peace within myself. This does not mean you become unkind. It means you stop leaving yourself just to keep others comfortable. It means you stop making your whole life a performance. It means you learn to ask, what is true for me? What brings peace to my heart? What honors the life that is trying to grow inside me? The sign may be asking you to release the old version of yourself, not because that version was bad, not because you should be ashamed, but because that version may have done its work. Maybe there was a version of you that had to survive by staying quiet, a version that had to please others, a version that had to accept less, a version that had to be hard to get through hard things, a version that had to control everything because trust felt impossible. Thank that version. It helped you continue, but it may not be the version that can carry you into peace. You do not have to hate who you were to become who you are. You can bless the old self and still move forward. You can say, thank you for bringing me here. I release what we no longer need. That is a beautiful kind of healing. It lets the past be honored without letting it hold to the future hostage. Say, I bless the version of me that survived. I welcome the version of me that is ready to live with more peace. Let that settle. There may be grief in releasing the old self. Even when something is heavy, it can feel familiar. Even when a pattern hurts, it can feel known. So be gentle if letting go feels both freeing and sad. Endings are not always clean. They can be layered. You can feel relief and grief at the same time. You can know something is right and still need to cry. You can be ready and still be tender. The sign is not here to rush your release. It is here to show you what is ready. Release can happen breath by breath. Today you may release one thought. Tomorrow, one habit. Another day, one expectation. Another day, one old story. You do not need to empty your whole heart at once. Life can help you clear the room gently. Imagine holding a heavy bag. You have carried it for so long that your hands ache, but you have also grown used to the weight. Someone says, you can put it down. At first, you may not know how. Your fingers may still grip it. Your body may still lean as if the bag is there. But slowly, you open your hand. Slowly, the weight leaves. Slowly, you realize how tired you were. Slowly, You remember what it feels like to stand without that burden. That is release. It may feel strange at first. Peace can feel strange when struggle has been familiar. Freedom can feel strange when you have been living in pressure. But strange does not mean wrong. Sometimes strange means new. Sometimes strange means your body is learning a life without the old weight. Ask yourself gently, what am I ready to put down? Do not answer from fear. Let the heart answer. Maybe you are ready to put down the need to explain yourself to someone who does not listen. Maybe you are ready to put down the belief that you must earn love by overgiving. Maybe you are ready to put down the hope that something painful will become peaceful if you keep sacrificing yourself. Maybe you are ready to put down the story that you are behind. Maybe you are ready to put down the pressure to know the whole future. Write it in your heart if you cannot write it on paper. I am ready to put down. Let one truth rise. Then say, I release this with love. I make room for peace. You may wonder, what will come after I release? The mind wants to know this before it lets go. It wants a guarantee. It wants proof that something better will come. But sometimes the proof arrives after the space is made. Sometimes the new cannot enter because the old is still taking up the room. Sometimes life is not withholding good from you. Sometimes your hands are simply too full. This does not mean you must release carelessly. It means you can begin with inner release. Release the pressure. Release the panic. Release the need to decide from fear. Release the belief that nothing good can come unless you suffer for it. Release the thought that peace is selfish. Release the old sentence, I have no choice. You may have more choice than fear has allowed you to see. Say, I make space for what is kind, true, and peaceful. A quiet sign may be the beginning of this space. It may not tell you every detail, but it may show you the first thing to loosen. It may show you where your body is tired. It may show you where your heart is no longer at home. It may show you where you have been forcing. It may show you where peace is waiting on the other side of release. And remember, release does not always look like leaving. Sometimes release looks like staying, but with a new heart. Staying without resentment. Staying with boundaries. Staying with honesty. Staying without losing yourself. Sometimes release looks like leaving a pattern, not a place. Sometimes it looks like ending a thought, not a relationship. Sometimes it looks like putting down the need to control what another person chooses. Sometimes it looks like letting today be today instead of dragging every old fear into it. Only your heart can know what kind of release is being asked of you. That is why the sign must settle. That is why you listen. That is why you breathe. The answer does not need to be loud to be real. Say softly, I trust the release that brings me back to peace. Let this be a gentle promise to yourself. You are not here to force. You are not here to panic. You are not here to tear your life apart. You are here to listen to what peace is asking. You are here to stop carrying what love is not asking you to carry. You are here to open your hands, one finger at a time, until life can place something kinder there. If the quiet sign has shown you something to release, receive that with tenderness. It is not a punishment. It is not proof that you failed. It is not life taking from you. It may be life freeing you. It may be life making room. It may be life saying, this weight cannot come with you into the peace you have been praying for. So breathe. Place one hand over your heart. Let the body know it is safe. And say again, I release what no longer brings peace to my heart. I make room for the good that is ready to come. The quiet sign may be asking you to trust the timing of your life, not the timing your worried mind wanted, not the timing your fear demanded, not the timing that would make everything easy to understand today, but the deeper timing, the softer timing, the timing that moves in ways you cannot always see, but can sometimes feel when your heart becomes still. A delay may not be denial. A closed door may not be rejection. A quiet pause may not be punishment. Sometimes life is not saying no. Sometimes life is saying, not this way. Sometimes life is saying, not yet. Sometimes life is saying, I am moving things where your eyes cannot see. And this can be hard to trust, especially when you have been waiting, praying, hoping, and asking for a sign that something is changing. But look gently at your life. There have been moments when you did not get what you wanted, and later you understood why. There have been doors that closed, and at the time they hurt. But later you saw that the closed door protected you from a room that was too small for your spy. There have been delays that felt unfair, but later you understood that something was still being prepared. There have been endings that felt like loss, but later became the beginning of peace. This quiet sign may be reminding you that life is not late. You may not be behind. You may not have missed your chance. Something may be moving, even if it is moving slowly. Something may be forming, even if it is still hidden. Something may be getting ready, even if your mind cannot yet name it. Say softly, I trust the timing of my life. Let that sentence rest inside you. Do not rush past it. Let it speak to the part of you that is tired of waiting. Let it speak to the part of you that keeps asking, when will it happen? When will I feel better? When will the answer come? When will the door open? When will I understand? Let it speak to the part of you that believes waiting means nothing is happening. Waiting does not always mean nothing is happening. Sometimes waiting means your heart is being made ready. Sometimes waiting means the right people the right path, the right answer, or the right opening is still being arranged. Sometimes waiting means you are being saved from rushing into something that would not hold your peace. Sometimes waiting means life is teaching you to stop building your safety on speed. The anxious mind wants proof before it trusts. It wants life to show every step, every detail, every reason, and every result. But life often gives only one small sign at a time. One moment of peace, one quiet feeling, one gentle nudge, one small opening, one simple reminder that says, keep breathing, you are still being guided. This is where trust begins. Not in knowing everything, not in controlling everything, not in forcing the answer to arrive today. Trust begins when you say, I do not understand the whole plan, but I can be peaceful in this breath. Trust begins when you say, I do not see the full road, but I can take the next gentle step. Trust begins when you say, I am not forgotten just because the answer is quiet. The sign may be asking you to trust the pause. The pause can feel uncomfortable because it gives the mind too much space to imagine the worst. But the pause can also be holy. The pause can be where your heart returns to itself. The pause can be where you stop chasing and begin receiving. The pause can be where you realize that the thing you were forcing was never the only way. The pause can be where a wiser path begins to show itself. Do not call the pause empty too soon. Do not call the delay failure too soon. Do not call the closed door rejection too soon. You may be standing in the middle of a sentence life has not finished writing yet. You may only be seeing one line, one moment, one piece. And if you judge the whole story from this one piece, you may frighten yourself for no reason. Say, this pause is not empty. Something good may still be forming. Let that be a soft place inside you. You do not need to know what is forming. You only need to allow the possibility that life is still at work. The roots grow in the dark before the flower appears in the light. The child grows in the unseen before it is held in the arms. The morning begins before the sun is fully above the sky. So much of life begins quietly before it becomes visible. Maybe something in you is growing quietly now. Maybe patience is growing. Maybe self-love is growing. Maybe courage is growing. Maybe a new path is growing. Maybe the strength to release what is not for you is growing. Maybe the peace to receive what is for you is growing. Do not insult the hidden work just because it has not yet become visible. The sign may be asking you to stop measuring your life against a clock made by fear. Fear says, you should have this by now. You should be healed by now. You should know by now. You should be further by now. But the soul has its own rhythm. Healing has its own rhythm. New beginnings have their own rhythm. Peace has its own rhythm. A flower does not open because someone stands over it and shouts, hurry. It opens because the light, the water, the soil, and the season come together in their own time. You are not less worthy because you are still becoming. You are not failing because something is still unfolding. You are not late because your path does not look like someone else's path. Say softly, I am blooming in the right time for me. Let the body hear that. Let it relax the places that have been tight with comparison. You do not need to race anyone. You do not need to prove that your life is moving fast enough. You do not need to force a blessing to arrive before your heart is ready to hold it with peace. Sometimes life waits because what you asked for is too important to arrive in a rushed way. Sometimes the answer takes time because the right foundation is being built. Sometimes the door opens later because if it opened earlier, you would have entered with fear instead of trust. Sometimes the good thing comes slowly because it is not meant to be a passing excitement. It is meant to become part of your life in a steady way. So if the quiet sign has arrived, let it remind you that timing can be loving. Timing can protect. Timing can prepare. Timing can make room. Timing can close one door before opening another. Timing can help you become the person who can receive the next chapter with a clear heart. This does not mean you do nothing. Trusting timing is not the same as giving up. It is not the same as sleeping through your life. It means you stop forcing from fear and you begin moving from peace. You still listen. You still take small steps. You still speak truth. You still care for your body. You still open your heart. But you stop dragging life by the hand and demanding that it move only in your way. Say, I do my part in peace, and I allow life to do its part in the right time. There is freedom in that sentence. You are not asked to carry the whole plan. You are asked to take the next honest step. You are not asked to control every outcome. You are asked to remain open. You are not asked to know every reason. You are asked to trust that what is meant for your peace can still reach you. The sign may be saying, wait, but do not close. It may be saying, pause, but do not lose faith. It may be saying, rest, but do not call yourself forgotten. It may be saying, something is moving quietly. Let it move. If your mind says, but why is it taking so long? Answer gently, maybe something is being prepared. If your mind says, maybe I missed it, answer, what is meant for me can still find me in peace. If your mind says, I need to know now, answer, I can be safe even before I understand. Let these answers be simple. The mind may keep asking. That is okay. You can keep returning to peace. Trust is not one perfect thought. Trust is a practice. It is something you choose again and again when fear rises. It is a hand you place over your heart. It is a breath you take before reacting. It is a gentle sentence you repeat when your thoughts become loud. I trust the timing of my life. Say it when the answer feels slow. Say it when the door has not opened. Say it when someone else seems to be moving faster. Say it when you are tempted to force. Say it when you feel forgotten. Say it until the body begins to understand that waiting does not mean abandonment. There is a hidden kindness in timing. You may not see it now. You may only feel the discomfort of not knowing. But one day, you may look back and say, "That delay saved me. That pause changed me. That waiting made me ready. That closed door was grace. That quiet sign was the beginning of trust." So today, let the signs settle into your relationship with time. Stop fighting the rhythm of your own life. Stop telling yourself that peace must arrive by a certain date to be real. Stop saying nothing is happening just because the movement is quiet. Something may be working in the unseen. Something may be aligning. Something may be softening. Something may be preparing. And while it prepares, you can breathe. You can live this day. You can care for yourself. You can take one gentle step. You can remain open. You can trust that life is not against you just because it is not moving at the speed of your fear. Say softly, "I trust the timing of my life. I am not late. I am being guided." When a quiet sign arrives, the next step does not have to be big. You do not need to change everything in one day. You do not need to solve the whole problem, make the whole plan, or understand the whole future. Sometimes the most loving response to a sign is one small, peaceful step. One step taken from calm, one step taken from honesty, one step taken without panic, one step that says, "I am listening." Do not do 10 things in fear. Do one thing in peace. Let that sentence settle into you. Fear loves to make things dramatic. It says, "Now you must fix everything. You must act fast. You must make sure you do not lose the chance. You must control the outcome." But peace moves differently. Peace says, "Begin here. Begin gently. Begin with what is honest. Begin with what is possible today." A small, peaceful step can be very powerful. It can change the energy of the day. It can return you to yourself. It can show life that you are ready to cooperate, but not ready to lose yourself in panic. The step does not need to impress anyone. It does not need to look important from the outside. It only needs to agree with the truth that is growing inside you. Say softly, "I take one small step, and life meets me there." Maybe the step is to write one honest line in your journal. Not a perfect page, not a long speech, just one line. "I feel guided to rest. I feel ready to release fear. I feel peace when I stop forcing. I do not know the full answer yet, but I am listening." One honest line can be a doorway. Maybe the step is to drink water and care for the body that has been carrying so much. Sometimes the body becomes the first place where healing must begin. A tired body cannot always hear guidance clearly. A hungry body may think everything is hopeless. A tense body may turn every sign into stress. So the small step may be very simple. Drink water, eat something kind. Rest your eyes. Put one hand over your heart. Let the body know it is not alone. Maybe the step is to clean one small space. Not the whole house, not the whole room. One corner, one table, one drawer, one bag. Sometimes when you clear a small outer space, the mind feels a little clearer too. You are telling life, I am making room. You are telling your heart, I do not need to live in the old heaviness. You are telling your energy, something new can enter here. Maybe the step is to send one message, not a message written from fear, not a message that begs, not a message that tries to control another person. A simple, honest, peaceful message. Maybe it is asking for help. Maybe it is saying thank you. Maybe it is making an appointment. Maybe it is opening a door that fear told you not to touch. Maybe it is closing a conversation kindly. Let the message come from peace, not panic. Maybe the step is to say no to one thing that drains you. A quiet no can be a holy step. You do not need to explain your whole life. You do not need to make everyone agree. You can simply say, I cannot do that today. That does not feel right for me. I need rest. I am choosing peace. A peaceful no protects the room where your new life is trying to grow. Maybe the step is to say yes to one thing that nourishes you. Yes to rest. Yes to prayer. Yes to a walk. Yes to silence. Yes to a healthy choice. Yes to a kind thought. Yes to a small opportunity that feels clean. Yes to receiving help. Yes to the peace you usually push away because you think you must earn it. Maybe the step is to stop chasing for one day, just one day. Stop checking. Stop forcing. Stop trying to pull an answer from a place that is not ready to give one. Stop asking the same closed door to open. Stop making your worth depend on what another person does. This can be a step too. Stillness can be a step. Not reacting can be a step. Choosing not to repeat an old pattern can be a very strong step. Say, today I do not chase. Today I return to myself. Feel the power in that. Returning to yourself is not doing nothing. It is one of the deepest things you can do. Every time you return to yourself, you stop giving your whole peace away. You remember that your life belongs to you. You remember that your heart deserves care. You remember that guidance does not require you to abandon your own soul. The quiet sign may not ask for a big action. It may ask for a gentle agreement. An agreement that you will listen. An agreement that you will stop ignoring your body. An agreement that you will not speak to yourself with cruelty today. an agreement that you will take one step toward peace, even if the step is small. Ask yourself now, what is one peaceful step I can take today? Do not ask, how do I fix everything? Do not ask, how do I make the whole future safe? Do not ask, how do I guarantee the outcome? Those questions are too heavy for the heart. Ask one simple question. What is one peaceful step I can take today? Maybe the answer comes quickly. Maybe it is rest. Maybe it is honesty. Maybe it is cleaning. Maybe it is calling someone. Maybe it is silence. Maybe it is prayer. Maybe it is putting something down. Maybe it is writing one sentence. Maybe it is choosing not to argue. Maybe it is forgiving yourself for needing time. If no answer comes, let the first step be breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. That is enough to begin. A calm breath can be the first bridge back to yourself. Say softly, I can begin with one breath. There is no shame in a small beginning. Many people wait because they think the step must be grand. They think healing must look impressive. They think change must look big enough for others to notice. But some of the most important shifts happen quietly. You stop speaking badly to yourself. You rest instead of forcing. You pause before replying. You choose peace over being right. You stop chasing a person who makes you feel small. You listen to your body. You trust a calm no. You take one honest step. These small steps may not look dramatic, but they carry a new energy. They say, I am no longer living only from fear. They say, I am willing to cooperate with life. They say, I believe peace is worth protecting. They say, I can move gently and still move forward. One step taken in peace is stronger than 10 steps taken in panic. Panic moves fast, but it often moves in circles. Peace may move slowly, but it moves with wisdom. Panic tries to force a door. Peace notices which door is opening. Panic asks, how do I control this? Peace asks, what is true now? Panic exhausts the body. Peace returns breath to the body. So choose the step that has breath in it. Choose the step that feels clean. Choose the step that does not require you to hate yourself. Choose the step that honors the quiet sign. Choose the step that says, I trust enough to move gently. Maybe you're afraid that one small step is not enough, but one small step can change the direction of your energy. One small step can begin a new rhythm. One small step can open a door that worry could not open. One small step can show you the next step. You do not always need the whole path to begin. Often the next step appears only after you take the one in front of you. Say, as I move gently, the next step becomes clear. Let that be enough. You are not required to see the entire road. You are not required to make the perfect choice from the beginning. You are allowed to learn as you go. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to stop and breathe. You are allowed to choose again when new peace appears. If the sign has asked you to release, the peaceful step may be putting down one small part of the old weight. If the sign has asked you to trust timing, the peaceful step may be not forcing the answer today. If the sign has asked you to notice guidance, the peaceful step may be writing it down. If the sign has asked you to rest, the peaceful step may be closing your eyes for a few minutes and letting the body soften. Do not make the step harder than it needs to be. Fear makes everything heavy. Peace makes things simple. Ask, what would love do next? Not what would fear do. Not what would pride do. Not what would guilt do. What would love do next? Love may say, rest. Love may say, tell the truth. Love may say, drink water. Love may say, stop checking. Love may say, reach out. Love may say, let it be for today. Love may say, try again, but gently. Love may say, do not go back to what broke your peace. Love may say, you are safe to wait. The step that love gives may be simple, but it will carry peace. Say, I choose the step that comes from love, not fear. Let this become your way today. When the mind gets loud, return to the small step. When fear says, do more, ask, what is peaceful? When doubt says, this is not enough, answer, a small step in peace is enough for today. When the old habit wants to take over, pause and breathe before moving. This is how you honor the sign. You do not honor it by becoming frantic. You honor it by becoming present. You honor it by listening. You honor it by allowing the message to change the way you treat yourself in this moment. You honor it by making one choice that supports your peace. The quiet sign arrived gently. Respond gently. Do not turn a soft message into a hard demand. Do not turn guidance into pressure. Do not turn spiritual listening into another reason to judge yourself. Let the sign make your life softer, not heavier. Let it bring you closer to peace, not deeper into fear. Say again, I take one small step and life meets me there. And then take the step. Not later in some perfect future, not when you feel completely ready, not when every fear is gone. Take one small step today. Write one line, drink water, rest, clean one corner, send one honest message, say one peaceful no, say one nourishing yes, stop chasing for 1 hour. Breathe before reacting. Place your hand over your heart and say, I am listening. That is enough to begin. Life can meet you in small places. Grace can enter through small doors. Peace can return through one breath. The sign does not need you to become a different person overnight. It only asks you to be willing. willing to listen, willing to soften, willing to move with trust, one gentle step at a time. One of the most gentle ways to honor a quiet sig is to write it down. Not to make it dramatic, not to turn every moment into a mystery, not to chase signs or force meaning, but to teach your heart to notice support. A sign journal is not about proving anything. It is about remembering. It is about training your mind to see the quiet ways life is helping you. The mind has often been trained to notice danger first. It notices what is missing. It notices what went wrong. It notices who did not call, what did not happen, which door stayed closed, which answer has not arrived. The mind can become very skilled at finding proof of fear, but it can also be gently retrained. It can learn to notice peace. It can learn to notice help. It can learn to notice small openings. It can learn to notice the ways life is still kind, even in ordinary moments. Say softly, "The more I notice guidance, the more guided I feel." Let that be the reason you write. Not because you need a perfect spiritual record, not because you need to understand every sign at once, but because what you notice grows in your awareness. When you begin noticing small guidance, you begin feeling less alone. When you begin writing down little moments of peace, your heart begins to believe that peace is real. When you record quiet help, the mind begins to look for help instead of only looking for harm. Your sign journal can be very simple. It does not need long pages. It does not need beautiful words. It does not need to sound deep. It can be 3 short lines. Today I noticed. Maybe this means I choose to. That is enough. Today I noticed helps you name the sign. Maybe you noticed a calm feeling after making a choice. Maybe you noticed a delay that kept you from rushing. Maybe you noticed a sentence that touched your heart. Maybe you noticed that your body felt lighter when you stopped forcing something. Maybe you noticed that you did not react the old way. Maybe you noticed a peaceful no. Maybe you noticed a quiet yes. Maybe you noticed that rest helped you hear more clearly. It does not need to be large. Write the small thing. Write the ordinary thing. Write the soft thing. Nothing is too simple if it brought your heart back to peace. Maybe you write, "Today I noticed I felt calm after I stopped checking my phone." That is a sign. Maybe you write, "Today I noticed I felt lighter when I told the truth." That is a sign. Maybe you write, "Today I noticed a friend said the exact words I needed." That is a sign. Maybe you write, "Today I noticed that the delay gave me time to breathe." That is a sign. Maybe you write, "Today I noticed I did not want to argue anymore." That is a sign too. The next line is, "Maybe this means." This line is not about forcing a final answer. It is about choosing a kind meaning. Fear gives harsh meanings. Fear says, "This means nothing works. This means I am alone. This means I am behind. This means I failed. But the sign journal helps you ask, could there be a softer meaning? Could there be a kinder meaning? Could life be showing me support? Maybe this means I am learning to protect my peace. Maybe this means I am being guided to rest. Maybe this means I can trust my body. Maybe this means life is helping me slow down. Maybe this means I am ready to release an old pattern. Maybe this means I am not alone. Maybe this means the closed door is protection. Maybe this means the pause is preparing me. Use the word maybe because it is gentle. It does not force the mind to believe everything at once. It opens a door. It says, I am willing to see this differently. That willingness can be very healing. Then write, I choose to. This is important because guidance wants cooperation. A sign is not only something to admire, it is something to respond to gently. If you noticed peace after resting, you may choose to rest more without guilt. If you noticed your body tightening around a certain choice, you may choose to pause before saying yes. If you noticed a small opening, you may choose to take one step. If you noticed you felt lighter when you stopped chasing, you may choose to give yourself one more day of not chasing. Maybe you write, I choose to listen to my body. Maybe you write, I choose to wait without fear. Maybe you write, I choose to release one old thought. Maybe you write, I choose to take one small step. Maybe you write, I choose to trust the peaceful feeling. Maybe you write, I choose to stop forcing this today. Maybe you write, I choose to care for myself kindly. This is how the sign becomes part of your life. Not through panic, not through pressure, through one simple response. A sign journal can change the way you meet your day. Instead of asking only, what went wrong? You begin asking, where was I supported? Instead of asking only, why is this not here yet? You begin asking, what is life showing me now? Instead of seeing every delay as punishment, you begin wondering, could this be protection? Could this be timing? Could this be space? This does not mean you deny pain. You are allowed to write pain too. You are allowed to write, today was hard. You are allowed to write, I felt afraid. You are allowed to write, I do not understand. A sign journal is not a place where you pretend. It is a place where you bring honesty into the light. But after you tell the truth, you also give space for kindness. You might write, today was hard, but I noticed I still took care of myself. That is a sign. You might write, I felt afraid, but I noticed I paused before reacting. That is a sign. You might write, I do not understand, but I noticed one peaceful breath. That is a sign. Do not wait for the perfect miracle. Do not wait for the huge answer. Begin with what is here. Begin with one small good. Begin with one moment of peace. Begin with one quiet sign. Gratitude grows when it is practiced in simple places. Some days your sign may be very small. The taste of clean water, a few minutes of silence, the strength to get through the day, a message that made you smile, a moment when the body relaxed, the courage not to answer from anger, the choice to rest, the choice to stop blaming yourself. These things may seem ordinary, but ordinary blessings become powerful when the heart notices them. Say, I honor the small signs. I do not need them to be loud. The journal also helps you see patterns over time. One sign may feel small by itself, but when you look back after a week, you may see that the same message has been coming again and again. Rest, release, trust, wait, speak, stop forcing, choose peace, take the step. You may realize life has been speaking more clearly than you thought. You may realize your heart has known more than your mind allowed. This is why writing matters. The mind forgets. Fear erases gentle evidence. Stress makes you lose sight of the good. But a journal remembers for you. It keeps the small lights in one place. On difficult days, you can read them and say, I have been guided before. I have been helped before. Peace has found me before. It can find me again. Your sign journal can be a place of quiet friendship with yourself. You are not writing to impress anyone. You are not writing for perfect grammar. You are writing to your own heart. You are saying, I see you, I hear you, I am paying attention now. That alone can heal something. So tonight, or before the day moves too far, write 3 lines. Today I noticed, maybe this means, I choose to. If you do not know what to write, begin with the fact that you are here. Today I noticed I was willing to listen. That is enough. Maybe this means my heart is opening. That is enough. I choose to be gentle with myself. That is enough. Do not make it difficult. Let it be easy. Let it be simple. Let it be something you can return to without pressure. The softer the practice is, the more likely your heart will trust it. A quiet sign does not need to be captured. It needs to be honored. Writing it down is one way of saying, I noticed, I am listening, I am willing to be guided. And the more you notice, the more life may seem to speak. Not because life was silent before, but because you are becoming quiet enough to hear. Say softly, I notice the quiet signs. I receive them with gratitude. I answer them with one loving action. Let that become your way. Notice, receive, respond, not with fear, with peace, not with control, with trust, not with pressure, with a gentle heart. The sign journal is not about chasing the future. It is about becoming present enough to see the good that is already here. And from that place of presence, the next step becomes clearer. The heart becomes calmer. The mind becomes softer. The body begins to understand that support can arrive quietly. and quiet support is still real. Now let the quiet sign settle. Do not pull it apart. Do not rush to explain it. Do not make it heavier than it needs to be. Let it rest in your heart like a soft light. Let it be simple. Let it be gentle. Let it remind you that life can still speak to you in quiet ways. You do not need to force this sign. You do not need to try. A's another one. You do not need to prove that it is real to anyone. If it brought peace, honor the peace. If it brought relief, honor the relief. If it helped you breathe, honor the breath. If it reminded you that you are not alone, let that reminder settle deep inside you. Say slowly, I am guided. Let that settle in the mind. You are guided even when the answer is not loud. You are guided even when the road is not fully clear. You are guided even when you only have one small step. You are guided when life says yes. You are guided when life says wait. You are guided when a door opens. You are guided when a door closes. You are guided when the sign is clear, and you are guided when the sign is still becoming clear. Say slowly, I am safe. Let that settle in the body. You are safe to breathe. You are safe to slow down. You are safe to stop forcing. You are safe to release what no longer brings peace. You are safe to receive good in simple ways. You are safe even when you do not know every detail. You are safe enough to listen. You are safe enough to trust one peaceful step. Say slowly, I allow this sign to settle in. Let that settle in the heart. You do not need to understand everything today. You do not need to decide your whole future today. You do not need to turn this sign into pressure. You can let it settle. You can let peace speak first. You can let the meaning become clear in the right time. You can let life guide you gently. The quiet sign has arrived. Maybe it came as a feeling. Maybe it came as a pause. Maybe it came as a closed door. Maybe it came as a small opening. Maybe it came as a sentence that touched your heart. Maybe it came as the sudden knowing that you are tired of living from fear. Maybe it came as the desire to return to yourself. However it came, receive it gently. You are not behind because you needed time to hear it. You are not wrong because you needed many signs before you trusted. You are not failing because the meaning is still unfolding. The heart learns slowly sometimes. The body trusts slowly sometimes. Healing opens slowly sometimes. That does not make it less real. Say, I give myself time. I give myself kindness. I give myself peace. Let those words hold you. You have been so hard on yourself in ways others may not see. You have asked yourself to understand quickly, heal quickly, move quickly, decide quickly. But life is not asking you to rush right now. Life is asking you to listen. Life is asking you to breathe. Life is asking you to allow the sign to become wisdom inside you. If this message reached your heart, write, "I received the sign." Let those words be your agreement with life. Not because you know every answer, not because everything is perfect, but because you are willing to receive the quiet guidance that has come to you. If you are ready to trust what is unfolding, write, "I allow it to settle in." Let that be your promise to stop rushing the meaning. Let that be your promise to stop turning peace into pressure. Let that be your promise to honor the small signs, the soft signs, the ordinary signs, and the quiet signs that bring your heart back home. Say again, "I am guided. I am safe. I allow this sign to settle in." The sign has arrived. Now receive it with a soft heart. Before you move on, take one more slow breath. Let this whole message become simple inside you. A quiet sign has arrived for you. It may not have come with noise. It may not have come with a full answer. It may not have explained every part of your life. But it came with a gentle feeling, a soft reminder, a small opening, or a peaceful truth. And that is enough for now. Do not ask the sign to become more than it is ready to be. Do not force it into a shape. Do not rush it into a decision. Let it settle. Let it rest in the heart. Let it speak in its own time. Let it become clear through peace, not through fear. Maybe the sign is asking you to trust timing. Maybe it is asking you to take one small, peaceful step. Maybe it is asking you to write down what you noticed. Maybe it is asking you to release what no longer brings peace. Maybe it is asking you to stop chasing and return to yourself. Maybe it is asking you to believe that you are still being guided even now. Whatever it is, you do not have to receive it perfectly. You only have to receive it gently. Place your hand over your heart and say, "I am here. I am listening. I allow this sign to settle in." Let the mind become quiet. Let the body soften. Let the heart open only as much as it can today. That is enough. You do not need to force faith. You do not need to pretend. You can begin with willingness. You can begin with one breath. You can begin with one peaceful thought. The sign may be small, but it is not empty. The step may be small, but it is not powerless. The pause may be quiet, but it is not meaningless. Something can be working in the unseen. Something can be healing in the silence. Something can be preparing in ways you do not yet understand. So let today be gentle. Let your heart be gentle. Let your next step be gentle. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are being guided in quiet ways, and the more you soften, the more you will notice. Say softly, "I trust what brings peace. I release what brings fear. I allow life to guide me one step at a time." The quiet sign has arrived. Let it settle in. Let it teach you slowly. Let it bring you back to peace.